Hey everybody, it's Kika, your lifestyle blogger. And so in today's video, what I would like to talk to is when your loved one goes to the hospital and you discover that they can no longer come back home, that they would need a higher level of care, which is a nursing home or a senior living facility. This is so devastating to many families and to many people that are on the receiving end to have to learn that this hospital visit, I'm no longer qualified to be back in my own home, that I need a higher level of care. Otherwise, the unexpected will happen sooner or later. And we already know that the unexpected is going to happen sooner or later and that we are already on that path. However, it is very devastating to learn that the environment that you are used to, the environment that you've lived in for so many years, will no longer be an option for you. And that the doctor and the healthcare providers is recommending that you go to a nursing home or an assisted living. This, for so many people, are the words that they do not want to hear. That is so hard and so devastating. So what I want to talk to you about today, just being in the industry for 20 plus years, I want to spread some knowledge here. And I want to share with you what to do to prepare for this and what you can do to make light of this, although it's a very devastating blow and information that you received. But I want to show you what to do next. So that is what we're talking about today. So keep watching. More video footage coming up. And if you are not a subscriber to my channel, please do so by hitting that subscribe button. That way you get notification every time I upload a new video. All right, guys, so I'm switching up my typical background and where I usually sit and do these videos. I want to make this a more intimate moment between you and I so that it could feel like we're really having a conversation, because this subject is really touchy and I want to make sure that I cover everything and I'm able to answer all of your questions and give you some good advice, some advice that's solid, some advice that you can use, and some advice that will make what you've just found out a little better. So that's what we're getting into today. So when you hear this news, it's very scary because a lot of things are going through your mind. How did I prepare for this day? And in most cases, you can't prepare. None of us have. So what do I do next? Where do I go from here? That is the big question. And it's hard because we know that there's always a cost associated with living in a senior living community. It's going to either be a nursing home, there's going to be a big cost, and living in a senior living community with assisted living is going to be a cost. Even independent living has a bigger cost to it. And so a lot of people have not prepared for what is going to take for them to live in that type of environment. And so a lot of people run to okay, maybe I can do it with elderly waiver, but we all know some places require 2 years of private pay before you can even activate the elderly waiver. So if you're new to this channel and you have not seen my senior living videos, I'm going to ask you to stop right here and go back and watch the previous videos. That's important because that way it'll answer any questions that you might have in between that I'm not covering necessarily in this video because it was something that is done more on the front end. So I'm asking that you go ahead and watch those videos. There's only 2 or 3 of them, and then come back to this video. Even if you're in the hospital and you're facing a big move, don't watch this video first. Go back and watch my other ones, and then come back to this one, because this one is going to be a little bit more heartfelt, and we're going to dive into some different angles of what it takes to prepare for this time in your life. So please do that right away, and then we can present. All right, you guys. So now is the time to really think about downsizing. And what I mean by that is think about at home all of the stuff that you have not used, that you do not need, and think about having a big garage sale or something to get rid of some of those things. Now, I know some of these things have sentimental value. So think about family members that you want to give things to, or what things are you going to want to keep? Because keep in mind that your space is about to shrink. And when I mean by shrink, and I don't mean to scare you, is you're going to go from either a 1-bedroom or 1-room type situation to a 1-bedroom apartment, something maybe much smaller than what you are actually used to. And so selling off those items, having a garage sale is something that people absolutely love and they love doing. So you're associating something positive with this, and then you'll be able to make some money that you will be able to use and liquidate as well as you're on this journey, because you're now on a new journey of your life. So let's get into the next. If you have any old life insurance policies, any old 401ks, 403bs, anything like that, I want you to just take your time and go through those things and see how many dollars that you can come up with in those things, because you're going to need to reach out and dig deep and collect all the resources that you possibly can, because you're about to enter into a new phase of your life and you want to make sure that you're absolutely prepared and you're not short anything. If you have a home or a vehicle or something like that that you can sell, now is the time to consider doing that. Now, I know this is a touchy subject, especially when it comes to your home. So if you have family members that want to use your home, or you're still using your home for any other business purpose or anything like that, then of course you're not going to want to sell it. You're going to want to think of ways just to make whatever is going on in your home right now generate some dollars for you in the future that's going to be able to help you along this journey. So that is another tip, so to speak. But if you have a vehicle and you're not really driving, consider selling that vehicle, because that is going to help you along the way as well. Now, let's go to the next tip. All right, so if you're new to my channel and new to watching my videos, I'm sure you have not taken my tips before. So what you're going to want to do now at this point is to start searching for senior living. I always advise people to be ahead of the game and start searching early on so that you know what's actually out there. But because you're in this situation, you're now going to have to look. So if you're in a situation where you cannot leave the hospital and you cannot look on your own, there's all sorts of ways that you can look now for senior living communities. They have virtual appointments. You can do things virtually now. So consider that and see if you can find a senior living facility that will offer you virtual tours. And if not, send along your trusty family member that you know is going to give it to you straight about any place or anything that they come in contact with. That's the family member you're going to want to send to look at these senior living communities so that they can give you it straight. Even if you look at the community virtually, there's things that you can't experience virtually, like smells, taste, all of that. You're going to want to send that trusty family member to look at this senior living facility, have lunch or dinner at this senior living facility, and walk around at a time where they're not expecting you. So that way you know that you are doing the right thing. So that's another tip for you. All right. So the next subject is really a touchy subject, because this involves money, cost. And we know that that is something that's huge for a lot of us. So when thinking about that, you're going to look at some of these places and they look so beautiful because they're brand new and they're going up, and you're going to be like, I can't afford that. Well, ask, because you will never know. A closed mouth does not get fed. That's what my mom used to say. So you're going to want to ask and see, is this place a senior living place? Is this place elderly waiver? And if you don't know about elderly waiver, again, go back to my previous video so you can learn what elderly waiver is and how it applies. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are on day 2 of talking about senior living options and what to do if you are in the hospital and you're faced with the choice of not being able to go home. And it's really not a choice. It's not an option, but what do you do from here? So we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to get into some more details on cost and the different types of living that you can choose from. So keep watching. All right, guys, I'm back. So now let's talk about the kind of senior living options that are out there and what you can do to move in to a senior living that you are actually comfortable with. So let's talk about that. So there are a few options. There are assisted living. There are long-term care, which could be a skilled nursing facility, or there could be something like a group home setting. So I want to talk to you about these because it's really different in a lot of different settings. And sometimes people misunderstand what their healthcare professional is telling them when they say they need 24-hour care. Some people interpret that as that they need 24-hour medical care. So they're totally looking at a skilled nursing facility or nursing home option, which we know that sometimes that is the less favorable of the three. And then sometimes when people say long-term care, they're simply just talking about a place that can oversee your medical care throughout the duration of the time that you live there. So this can be done in actually any setting, but there are different costs associated with those. So we're going to get into those now so that you are informed about your options. So if you're feeling like a nursing home is the way to go, and that is actually the option that you have discussed with your healthcare provider and the way that you need to go, understand this. The way that is paid for is by two different type of means. One can be insurance. It can absolutely cover some of the cost of living in a skilled nursing facility because it is under a certain umbrella that does warrant for certain insurances to pay. So whether you have long-term care insurance or any other various types of insurances, it's always good to call the nursing home administration office or business office and find out if your insurance will qualify and how much of your insurance will pay for your care. Now, nursing home tends to come with a heavier and higher cost. And many people don't understand that because they're thinking this is not really an ideal environment, so why does it cost so much? Well, the reason why it costs so much is because you are indeed getting 24-hour skilled care in a nursing home facility because there are registered nurses, physicians, all of those type of people available around the clock, just like in the hospital. Very, very close, like in the hospital. So this is the reason why the nursing home comes with a higher price tag. So you will definitely want to check out those costs. I have seen the nursing home cost anywhere between 10 to 12K per month, depending on what type of care you need. If you're diabetic and you're going to need insulin screenings and shots, different things like that, that can come with a heftier cost. So make sure you check that out. Secondly, assisted livings. Now, this is a little bit different because although there are nurses that are in the facility, they're not there always around the clock. They're on call and available, but not always physically in the building around the clock. So this comes still with a higher price tag, but probably about half the price that it would cost to move into a nursing home. Thirdly, residential care homes. Now, this is regulated differently, and this can sometimes be the caregiver's home. So the nurse that's actually providing the care could be opening up her home to let people in to have that care. Now, rather she's there 24 hours a day, or rather she has staff on call, that is something that can be arranged by a residential care home. Each residential care home functions differently, so you would definitely need to contact that residential care home's business office or owner to find out what their policies are and how that applies to you and if this will fit for you. So those are three really good options and really good places to start. So start there, and if you have any questions, be sure to put your questions in the box below and I will make sure that I answer them right away. All right, guys, so I hope that this information was helpful. I really wanted to sit down with you and have more of an intimate conversation. And of course, these days and these conversations is not over. We will have more conversations to come in the near future. As I think of them and as you are having challenges, reach out to me because I would love to be able to create a video like this one that will help guide you through the process and the next steps. So, thank you so much for watching. And again, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please do so by hitting that subscribe button. That way you get notification every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching Reviews in Great Lifestyle. I'm Kika Ray, signing off.